Team USA explodes in the third period for 4 goals to break open a 1-goal game. This sets up Saturday afternoon's USA versus Canada game. We talk Four Nations next and much, much more on this WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick. I am a longtime Las Vegas sportscaster, marketing consultant. Chris Golick, collectibles guy, editor of the Hockey News, and owner of Silver State Cards and Sports. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Coming up on today's show, again, we'll recap the USA win. We'll take a look ahead at Saturday's big encounter in the Four Nations action and your WTF comments. So Team USA blows open a tight game, leading 2-1 going into the final period. But the U.S. scores 3 consecutive goals in the first 3 minutes of the third to put it away. At the end of the second period, Mike Sullivan decides to put both Tkachuks on the same line as VGK's Jack Eichel, and that line was explosive.
It was fun. The storylines are good, and yeah, the Eichel Tkachuk situation, I guess, was very interesting to watch and see how it played out, and fun watching two brothers celebrating scoring goals in international play. I'm sure it hasn't happened too much over the years, so that was pretty fun to watch, and it was good hockey. I mean, the first 2 periods especially, you had some grit out there, you had some physicality, you had some punches thrown, and I thought Finland was going to have a better finish, but that was terrible. I thought Finland would finish the game stronger, but USA just decided, hey, we're done screwing around, and it definitely showed you the gap between the Finnish team and Team USA.
4 goals scored by the Tkachuks, 13 shots, 8 for Matthew, 8 shots on goal, 2 assists for Eichel, 1 assist for the Tkachuks, 10 hits by the Tkachuks, and that will go down in international play lore, that game, I believe, last night. So I thought it was interesting. Matthew Tkachuk and Jake Gensel scoring goals 11 seconds apart to open up that third period of play in just 26 seconds of action. That just showed explosiveness. I mean, USA came out and flexed their muscles, and it's going to make for an interesting game, which we'll talk about between Team Canada and Team USA.
Yeah, these goals were interesting. Those 3 goals, end of the second period, Matt Boldy from Brock Faber, and 2 teammates connecting on a goal from Minnesota Wild, which was fun to watch.
Quite a deflection. That deflection,
deflection right in front. No goalie saving that. Let's just simply hit some. Good hockey right there. And then the Matt Tkachuk power play goal to start the third, 15 seconds in. Terrible shot selection. Terrible. I don't know what he's thinking taking that shot there, but it is fortunate enough to hit the stick of the defenseman just enough to move that puck maybe an inch off of its trajectory and ends up going in. At first, it looked like it was a terrible goal given up. I think it was Saros. I don't know if he got pulled by that or not, but looked like a terrible goal at first. And then when you watch the replay, like, okay, now it makes sense. But why Tkachuk is taking that shot? Hey, he had 8 shots on goal and he had 2 goals, so he knows the game better than me. And then, of course, Jake Gensel, not long after that, 5-hole goal, and then Brady Tkachuk cleans up some loose change in front of the net. So it's the right game that they played, and it definitely showed much more polished than Team Canada. We'll hit a lot more of that, obviously, in the second segment, but seem polished, seem ready to go. And you know what? USA is, I hate to say it like this, but the reality is when their Team USA is playing on Canadian soil right now, they're the enemy right now, and booing during the national anthem and stuff again. And I won't go too far into that, but stuff like that is going to motivate Team USA. And what I'm assuming the USA Canada game, is that going to be in Boston? I honestly don't even know which venue that's going to be in.
No. They stay in Montreal.
They stay in Montreal. Okay, fine, fair enough. So,
USA
Monday, stays in Montreal.
Both of those games are in Montreal tomorrow. on Saturday, and then Monday everything shifts to TD
Okay, fair
Garden.
enough. So get ready for another round of booing then, and a very
Yeah,
very
going to
ruckus
be
crowd in
hostile.
favor of Team Canada, obviously.
Okay, it's time for trivia. Only one player in plus minus in that world had a minus. Who might that player be? Who might that player be for Team USA last night?
I saw my phone lighting up. I saw your tweet. It was obviously Noah Hannafin and Christina, I believe. I'll look up the name in a second. She even sent me a note on Twitter saying, "Hey, how come you're not chirping Noah Hannafin? He was out there for that first goal."
For the first goal, he's a -1. Everyone else in plus territory except for Hannafin.
So what does Hannafin do on this play? I got the goal visualized. Oh, Hannafin kind of gets it up the boards, maybe a little. Okay, Hannafin. Wait, hold on. Wrong team. 50
Wrong team.
15.
Yeah.
Where's Hannafin? Hannafin's kind of caught moving around
In
here.
no
And
man's
you're not
land,
going
like
to fault
usual.
Hellebuck for the goal given up, number one. There's traffic in front, and the puck goes right to the corner. Hannafin's at the blue line. Positioning is good. He's really close to his yeah, he didn't he should have released. So you have two defenders kind of converging on the puck. Hannafin was on the outside of where the puck's path of travel was. I mean, yeah, I don't
Is
know.
Hannafin
I guess
going to
Team Canada
become?
knows where they're going to key in on Saturday.
Is Hannafin going to become this year's Carlson? I mean, it's just I don't get it. Is he not that good, or what's the story with Hannafin?
Um, that's a good question, and I honestly we've talked about this before. I think he's not fitting in with Cassidy's system. Hannafin, 14 minutes and 10 seconds of ice time, significant difference from where he's been averaging. It's probably 20 minutes plus with the Vegas Golden Knights, maybe a little bit less as of late, but right around 20 minutes of ice time. But back to your question about Hannafin as relates to VGK, I think there's
Oh,
a
what
system
about
issue.
USA? What about Team USA too?
Sure, fine. I mean that also could be fair, and I mean I don't know. He's one player that's a minus in a route, so I don't know if you're going to overthink that or not. There's at least two more games for Team USA, probably three, because they're the only team right now in this tournament that has 3 points. Remember, it's 3 points for a regulation win, 2 for overtime, 1 for an overtime or shootout loss. So 3 points is very, very strong. I think if USA can get 3 points on Saturday, they punch their ticket to the championship game already, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, that's the way it'll be anyway. Yeah, because then they'll just have one game remaining, and there'll be a lock, and we could have a USA versus Finland or Sweden, depending on how things shake out against Canada. If USA wins in regulation in that game, but now with Hannafin, no, seriously, with Theodore being out, it appears as though he'll be out for a length of time. Now, depending on who they plug in there, if they find somebody else and bring in another defenseman or what have you, but Hannafin will have to take on an extra role. He's going to have to take on a bigger role when VGK resumes play February 22nd as it stands right now. And is he ready to take on a bigger role? That's the biggest question I think that will loom going into the next half of this season for VGK.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Hannafin, he's going to become the quarterback one power play. Power play one. My dyslexia there this morning. Power play one quarterback, which is where he kind of came in last season as well, and pretty much bumped Theodore out of that slot. So listen, maybe Coach Cassidy, he's been foreshadowing things all season. Coach Cassidy early in the season, when asked about Noah Hannafin, it was, well, maybe Hannafin because he's not on that top power play unit, not getting as many touches. Maybe he's pressing harder to get those touches. Just human nature. You're used to having a certain impact on the game, and if you're not out there when you're normally used to being out there, you find other ways to do it. Maybe you start overdoing it. Is where I'm ultimately going with this word scramble here. So now maybe expanded responsibility will make him stop thinking as much, right? He's got power play responsibilities now. He's got maybe some increased responsibility on the kill, depending on where Shea Theodore fit in and things like that. Could be a new defenseman joining this team sometime in the next 3 to 4 weeks. That probably won't get an extension negotiated during a playoff push. But there's all these different things that are coming together right now, and maybe a little change in the local scenery is what Noah Hannafin might need right now.
Connor Hellebuck, his performance last night, grade A, I thought.
Yeah, no, I'm writing down. I got WTF. I just thought about. Yeah, no, Hellebuck. I mean, listen, he's the best goalie, not named Logan Thompson, not in this tournament, I guess, right? No, Connor Hellebuck. He's going to check all the boxes. You do wonder if they just roll Hellebuck out there for all the games. You wonder if that's going to be a possibility, and it would not surprise me. You've also got Jake Ottinger back there. Who's the third USA goalie? I can't remember who the third
I
USA
can't
goalie is.
remember. I
I
was
should
going to
have the
talk
stats up. Nope, they only
about
show
Ottinger. It's okay. All good.
he didn't dress. Whoever was didn't dress. So
He did
yeah,
not dress. Bug
you
boy.
could get Ottinger on Saturday against Team Canada, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just roll Hellebuck all the way through this tournament because that's the type of goalie he is, and he's pretty good.
Coming up next, Saturday's showdown between USA and Canada. Our preview comes your way next, right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the course of a game. So even if you miss the opening tip off, you can still want to bet the fourth quarter and a comeback. You can stay in the action all game long. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay. You definitely have to like the FanDuel app because why? It is clutch. And I never feel like I miss any chance on there. Plus, the app is so easy to use. And when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit fanduel.com, join today. That's fanduel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every minute more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the National Basketball Association. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights for this Friday already. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. Coming up ahead, we've got WTF. VGK's Shea Theodore Chris now listed as week to week with that upper body injury. Travis Sanheim of the Flyers is taking his place. And also, I guess, on their list that they have of players that could be added if there's another injury, it includes Chris Tanev. I was looking last night at who they might add, right? And then Evan Bouchard is also on that list. But right now, they need a defenseman, does Team Canada. And USA versus Canada Saturday. It looks like Jake Ottinger against Aiden Hill. And that should be a good game. Each team with a ton of speed up the middle. And I could just see this game with a lot of wide open ice and maybe not a ton of scoring, but we know that these teams can get up and down the ice. They are so fast.
I just noticed your tagline, Cupid is stupid, and that gave me a chuckle right there. And I tuned you out after that because I was kind of laughing for a second there. No, listen, a ton of speed, yeah, and a ton of skill on display. I'll start by saying I definitely think it's Aiden Hill in net for Team USA. I don't
For Team Canada.
Team Canada, dang it. Yes, thank you. I think Binnington, maybe if he had a better game, there was a chance he could have held on to the nets, but part of me also believes that the plan all along was Binnington, Aiden Hill, and then of those two goalies, see who should go for the third game. Now, if Team Canada loses this game and all of a sudden they're maybe on the outside looking in for the championship spot, and all of a sudden you might see Sam Matsubo roll out there for the third game if it's a meaningless game for Canada. So this is where the drama is, right? The first game, if you get that 3 points, life is good. You need one more victory basically to cement a spot in the championship. If you don't get 3 points in that first game, you almost need to find a path to 3 points in that second game. If you only get 2 points, you're probably still at least in control of your destiny. But if Canada doesn't come out of this game with 2 or 3 points, all of a sudden they're maybe on the outside looking in for what people call a tournament made for them to win. So a lot of drama. You're going to see some physicality. You're going to see some rough stuff out there. You're going to see the Kachucks messing with Austin Matthews. messing with Connor McDavid, messing with McCarr and McKinnon anytime they get. And I think we got a chance at some of this old World Cup of hockey type stuff where, they're out there just beating the living crap out of each other. It could be for a really, really fun hockey game.
Took a checks with Mark Stone too. That'll
I
be
mean, is there a
fun.
chance like Mark Stone and Jack Eichel face wash a little bit, or Noah Hannafin and Aiden Hill? There you go. Noah Hannafin actually skates up at Aiden Hill, gives them the business. That'd be fun.
It would be a lot of fun. So the schedule looks like this: it's Finland against Sweden, 10 a.m. Saturday. Then at 5 o'clock at night, USA
The
against Canada.
undercard. The undercard.
We have the undercard early in the day, and yeah, good thing we could still watch this on YouTube TV because they're getting rid of all the CBS affiliated stations with the dispute going on just in time for stinking March Madness. What are they doing there?
They always
Oh, it's not
happen. Let me get.
WTF.
I don't have regular cable, but I'm assuming that like scrolls going on the bottom. You're going to lose this and so and all that. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, another player that they could have brought up, a standby defenseman, is Thomas Harley. I thought Harley might be better than Sanheim.
I mean,
Personally,
Sanheim, I don't have the comparables, but I have Sanheim's numbers here 23, 24. And this is the Flyers. Flyers really haven't been going all the way back to 18, 19, haven't been that great of a team. He's putting up some nice numbers. 34 assists previous season, 21 assists this year, pacing for about the same. Really had a coming out party as far as the offensive side of his game over the last 2 seasons. I guess they said there was a meeting that took place earlier in the week before the tournament started. Like, they really wanted to rethink the contingency plans in case players started getting hurt, right? And making sure they can add players and all that. And it just seems odd that they waited until, the witching hour, so to speak, right before this tournament to get all that out there. But again, fun game. Odds, Team USA
yeah,
is
I was going to
actually a
ask.
slight dog.
USA's
Even
a
money.
dog?
They're a slight dog. They're even money. Canada's minus 120. You got an over-under of 6 out there. That's, I think, slightly shaded to the under, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked at it. So I wonder where the money will come. There will be a lot of betting on this game. I think it'll be an interesting handle to watch. The nice thing is there's only one game, so you'll see the odds makers, the traders, if you will, as they call them. You'll see the traders moving this line pretty actively, I think, based on the money. Whereas if it was a regular, Tuesday night affair, between two whatevers, the odds won't change much. I think you'll see the odds bouncing around a little bit. I would assume money's going to come in on USA. So if you do like USA in this game, bet it today. Don't bet it tomorrow.
Bet
I
it
think is what
early,
I'm
yeah.
trying to say. Yeah, bet it now.
Yeah.
Bet it right now.
I have to agree with you there. Canada wins a squeaker in OT, and USA just manhandling Finland at the end of that game. The third period, man, they just look so strong
Yep.
in that contest. And
Finland didn't have Finland. Finland did not have an answer. End of story. They did not have that response, and some good players on the Finnish roster. And it felt like they embraced the underdog role pretty well. And then, of course, that didn't matter for too much
it
longer.
looked like the USA team had been practicing below the surface, like probably secret Team
They're
Canada
polished.
practices.
They're polished. They are polished right now. And we'll learn, obviously, as Canada and US play each other, but Team USA is very polished. I didn't feel the same about Team Canada. Now, to be fair, when Shea Theodore was on the ice, things were working pretty well. And when Shea Theodore was off, things changed. Is Shea Theodore the difference maker for Team Canada? Let's pump the brakes.
Could be.
McDavid,
Could be.
all
No.
those guys. He's a difference maker, yes. But again, when you take one player out of the defensive rotation, it screws everything up, for lack of a better term. It screws everything up. And Team Sweden was able to use that to their ability. And I mean, honestly, they whoever the goalie was gave up a weak goal in that game. That overtime should still be going right now.
Yeah, and for Aiden Hill, he's going to have to be on his A game. So this is going to be pretty interesting because they're going to attack him. They're going to put pucks on net. We will see a lot. Team USA, that was their goal last night. Hey, just put the puck on net and we're going to score goals. That's what their attack and strategy was. And they're going to try to do much of the same. And Aiden Hill had better be ready for this.
Aiden Hill
is he ready?
Aiden Hill is a product of the defense in front of him. If the defense in front of him is doing an adequate job, he's going to do a good job. If the defense in front of him is not doing a good job, you'll be lucky to get an average job out of Aiden Hill. Aiden Hill simply not stealing games this year. He's had a few pockets of some very good hockey. I'm not going to knock him for that, but Aiden Hill generally has not been an effective difference maker out there. I will very comfortably and confidently state that. Team USA defense played very well yesterday, so that should bode well for Aiden Hill. But if they get a little leaky, if McDavid, McKinnon, McCarr, if they all have a little bit of space out there and some room to operate, they're going to light up Aiden Hill. And let's be clear about this. We're talking the best players in the world
Best
coming
on
at
best.
you shift
Best
after
on
shift
best.
after shift. Best on best. We've heard that a lot this week.
Oh,
Yes. So
sick
if
of that.
Aiden Hill does give up a 3 or a 4 spot, is it necessarily a negative reflection on him? Maybe not as much, but point being, if the defense in front of him isn't on, he is not going to steal this game for Team Canada. And if I'm wrong, I'll gladly eat my words. I will happily eat my
No,
words. but I feel
Team
pretty
USA is
confident.
going to get him to move around. They're going to get him to move. That
Well,
is
and
basically what we're going to see.
Aiden Hill's been overcommitting to pucks too. I put out a series of tweets after one of the bad games in his recent stretch where he is overcommitting. He's reacting before the shots are even being taken. He's guessing instead of reacting. And now you have the best players in the world who have a pretty good sleight of hand, who can certainly fool the best goalies in the world. So can Aiden Hill get his timing back? Can he get his reactions back? Can he get his guessing back? Whatever it is, it's going to be interesting to see. And if we're going to compare Team Canada and Team USA through one game each of this tournaments, certainly Team USA is much more polished, and there's no questions about their roster. The only question is if you're going to get Hellebuck or go back to Ottinger. And listen, we could be wasting a segment right now. We've done that before. They might go right back to Bennington. For this game. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a possibility.
Coming up next, it's that time of the week. What the Friday comes your way next right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back on Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas on this Friday. And happy Valentine's Day to all who celebrate.
Stupid holiday.
Nothing else. Yeah. Cupid is
Hallmark
stupid.
holiday.
Hey, how about Team USA? So they play Freebird, going back to like the tradition of, what they played in the locker room back in the 70s and 80s. And
is that why they did that? I was wondering what the story behind that was.
I think that's part of this story. And then after the game, they're playing Dream On by Aerosmith. Those young rocker kids, got to tell you, WTF.
I was wondering if you were going to tie WTF into that or not. So
I have no idea what I'm doing, bro. Come on, man. We just roll. WTF, of course, the Shea Theodore freak injury. That's going to be top of mind. Now, week to week, worst fears come true here in this Four Nations mess. Theodore having a career season. You don't want to see a player injured in the Four Nations, let alone a Golden Knight WTF. WTF, Las Vegas should be bidding for the World Cup of Hockey, right? So that's coming back. It is so back. And that features, I have to say this for you, Golick, it features good on good. And it'll be here in 2028. So there's the Olympics in 26, and then the NHL and the NHLPA are putting together the World Cup of Hockey. So that'll be in 28. So 27, we might have to put up with NHL and the skills competition and hitting surfboards with a puck again and all that nonsense. And so there's no more all-star skills competitions right now, it appears, or game. So there's no better place for the World Cup of Hockey in 2028 than Las Vegas WTF.
I feel like someone hit me with a block hammer after we had an up and back yesterday. I was on a random, it was actually kind of funny. I guess WTF for myself. I was on some string yesterday on Twitter about the Shea Theodore injury, and I was clicking through, and you know how it's like a light shade of gray when you can't reply to something, and sometimes it's like a protected where they only want certain people, and then sometimes it's blocked. So I click has blocked you. I'm like, damn. So yeah, WTF,
they blocked you.
I was like, okay,
and you don't have to fire back.
Yeah, and it wasn't all. It was it was actually some old Sabres fans too that were coming in to chirp because Golden Knights had an injury and stuff like that. So that was actually the funnier part. Some Vegas people, even some media people. So I thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, if y'all block me, I can give a I can give a WTF if you do or not. I don't care. All right, my first WTF. There's no hockey stat cards for the Four Nations, Tony. There's no
Oh,
report cards. No
who might
report
be in the
cards.
bottom? Who would be
I mean, Noah Hannafin has to be. If he's the only one that's a minus, he has to be at the
only
bottom. And again, that wasn't a
the only
shot.
one that's a minus?
Yeah, that wasn't a
Come on.
shot at Hannafin. That was just more of a shot at hockey stat cards. Like, I enjoy the hockey stat cards. I really do. I think it tells a very quick picture about the game. And I'm surprised that there's nothing there for international play. So WTF for that. And I don't know what the specifics are. Maybe there's a reason they're not doing it. So I'm not knocking them for doing it. WTF, I forgot Christina Walters' name. That's who chirped me earlier. Made the comment that Noah Hannafin was out there for a goal, and I didn't acknowledge that. So, Christina, thank you for all of your interactions. I appreciate that. WTF. I was looking for the string. Like I said, I think I might have got hit with another block hammer yesterday. So whatever. I was looking for the string. It was actually a good up and back string too. But point being is my perspective for this tournament. It's good hockey. Not going to knock it. It's good hockey. It is entertaining to watch. I enjoy the game. The first thing I was concerned about after the injuries and after the continuation drama, if you will, was it going to be good hockey? Are people going to be playing defense? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. They're going probably about 98% out there. I say 98% because it's not playoff hockey, but it's pretty good. It's very, very good hockey. Now, the continuation, of course, is the Shea Theodore stuff. My only argument is this tournament should happen in June, 2 weeks after the Stanley Cup.
Absolutely.
2 weeks after the Stanley Cup. And if players on the Stanley Cup winning team don't want to go because they're tired, fine, so be it. Or losing team, I understand that. But what about, a team, Buffalo Sabres, perfect example. They're not going to be in the playoffs this year. Wouldn't it be cool if in mid-June, Sabres fans had something to cheer about? That would be fun. So that's my argument right there. Run this tournament in June after the playoffs. I know players are tired. If they don't want to go, they don't got to go. Fine, whatever. I don't care. Some people are saying, well, this is what the players wanted. The players wanted this. I don't know if there was some vote or how this shook out, but you know what? I don't
NHLPA.
care.
Yeah.
What's that?
The NHLPA was involved.
Okay, fair enough. But I don't care what the players want, Tony. Any fans that are questioning this, I don't care what the players want. I pay money for season tickets. I've done this for 8 years. When you factor my season ticket spending and beer spending and those jerseys behind you spending, actually the one was free and the other ones are not Golden Knights, but all the money that me and my family have spent on this team, it's 6 figures over the last 8 years, easily 6 figures. And there's people, and I got crap seats, not crap, there's way high up. There's people that spend that in a year on this team. But when you are investing your money into a team, I don't want to see them getting hurt playing for a different team. I don't care. That's international competition. Olympics I'll tolerate because of that tradition that's been around for a very, very long time. It's a gold medal. It's very, very important. I understand that. This is still exhibition hockey. I don't care what anyone says. So
right.
WTF. Run this tournament in June.
And then WTF too. I think that the players forget that there is more of the season to go as they're playing.
Thinking about it. Well, at least the players on the ice ain't thinking about it.
Right no, they're not, and that's a great concern as well. WTFs, e-runs. There was no WTF last week, and I had a good one, I think. WTF guy. How about Larry DeLeon? Hannah Finland. That's what he's calling him. Hannafin instead of Hannah Finland.
Wait, what? Say that again.
Hannah Finland, because he played for Finland last night. WTF, Darth Tommy 774. I'm repeating what others have been saying, but without Russia involvement, it seems incomplete. Also, midseason wear and tear.
Without all the players from all the nations involved, it feels incomplete. Yes, I agree.
And the possibility of injury to the world's best players before the playoffs is not favorable. WTF.
Already happened.
T.A. Nyman. WTF, why did the first injury have to be to VGK? Hashtag rigged.
No,
it was rigged.
No, this is the plan.
No, it's rigged, man.
Don't you know? No, it's not rigged, Tony. This is the plan. Don't you know this? The Golden Knights scripted Shea Theodore to break his wrists in an effort to skew the LTIR for a third consecutive year. This is all part of the script. This is on a paper. It's on a napkin somewhere. This is all part of the script. And now the rest of the National Hockey League has figured out the Vegas Golden Knights because that's the way they all think.
WTF, some people are still saying it's a shoulder injury, which I don't think so.
That's what I thought at first, but whatever. It's an arm. It's an upper body injury. He's out for he's week to week. That's going to be at least 2 months, which is
that's right
timing.
I know it's great timing there. At Raider Nick 808, having our players get injured in meaningless games. WTF?
Bingo.
Um, M. Guido 12. Was it worth it now? Unreal. I get the arguments from both sides, but
Mhm.
we just lost our best defenseman for at least a month. This tournament
No,
is
it's not a
not
month.
worth
It's
it.
not a month. It's not a month. Week to week is never just a month. Stop it.
Okay. You want to play for your country, then make the Olympics. Now we have to hope not to lose anyone else. Stupid tournament, WTF. And that, again, was my contention before the tournament began. Why go out there? And I felt as though, and okay, we saw a terrific first round, but guess what? That heat index goes up times 100 now. And the bad blood between
Game 2 is the most important game for all these teams.
USA and Canada, they're not going to slow down. There's going to be checking and hitting and fighting and spitting. And oh, I was rhyming there. There's going to be all sorts of things that are going to be happening there on the ice. There will
So
be.
spitting, you had to get.
I,
Has Brad Marchand ever spit on somebody? Honest question.
I don't
Honest
know.
question. I don't know if he
Probably.
has or hasn't. He probably has.
Yeah. Somebody's going to go after him or he'll go after someone's head.
And you got to wonder now, as Eichel, Hannafin, Stone, well, not Theodore anymore, Aiden Hill, and obviously, of course, all the GMs and the scouts and stuff and all. You got to wonder
And
if some
don't
new
forget to mention Bruce Cassidy's power play unit.
and Bruce Cassidy. How I mentioned Bruce Cassidy. You have all of these players, decision makers, all under one roof right now. This is going to fuel an incredible trade deadline, I think, and not just for the Vegas Golden Knights, but this is going to fuel an awesome trade deadline. So if there's a positive about doing this godforsaken tournament in the middle of February during the regular season, you're going to see some different things happening as a result of these players being teammates for international competition. Maybe all of a sudden we're going to realize Brad Marchand ain't that bad. He's pretty funny off camera. They put something out there. I forgot which social team it was, if it was on the Four Nations or the Bruins side, but he was kind of doing a rapid fire thing. But of course he owned the whole thing and it was great to watch. And you wonder if any of these other relationships do get made. Brock Nelson is a name that I'm passively throwing around right now that the Golden Knights might make a play at, So you wonder if you'll hear if a trade gets made and in the locker room interviews after, it's like, hey, we were, teammates in the Four Nations and it seemed like it might be you never know. So that's a positive about this tournament. And the play has been good. Like, I'm not going to dog the play. I'm not going to dog what might come as a result, but I'm going to dog the fact that it's a very likelihood that someone's going to exit this Team USA, Team Canada game injured. Eichel took a stick. He was bleeding. It's not going to cause you to miss any time, but it's a dangerous, if it goes under the mask by his eye, all of a sudden now we're talking about missing time. So,
It's going to be funny, I think. So Mark Stone was in Brady Kachuk's wedding, right? But I
Yeah.
think Matthew Kachuk kind of gave him the Heisman, I thought. So it's going to be funny if he gets a Kachuk sandwich. I think we could. How about that? The two Kachucks on the same line. That was insane.
It's awesome.
The
I
second
wonder
that
for the
they
Sutters,
switched
like
the
the Sutter
line,
family, there's like 19 of them. I wonder if they ever
right?
played international competition together.
Yeah, the second that they put them both on the top line there with Eichel, it was just a different level of hockey. So a lot of fun.
It's been
We'll
fun
see how it
hockey. Like,
turns out. Yeah.
I'm not complete doom and gloom about this. The hockey has been fun. It has exceeded my expectations. I was excited watching the opening ceremonies, watching Mario Lemieux out there. Like, I'm not doom and gloom. If you guys want to clip the parts about me talking about the injuries and stuff, fine. But just hear me out on both sides. I enjoy the hockey. It's good hockey. It's fun to watch. In June, after everything is done, especially if your home team, not the Golden Knights in general, but if your team is out of the playoffs, you got something else to look forward to
You're
as well.
saying the Golden Knights will be out of the playoffs?
That's
Well,
exactly what I
something
just said.
look forward to. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much. Of course, make sure that you subscribe to our Lockdown Golden Knights YouTube channel. We'll be back again on Monday with many more shenanigans. For my man, Chris Golick, I am Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. Have a great weekend, one and all, and we'll see you again on Monday right here on Lockdown Golden Knights. And please take care.